anymore. I don't even know. I don't even know why I try anymore. I don't even know. You can't replace me. I'm awake, it's time to break free. I'm levitating. I don't even know why I try anymore. I don't even know. You said forever with a crooked smile. Promises fading after a while. Every word like a loaded dice. Every truth came wrapped in lies. I kept believing what you sold. Turned my heart into your home. But every crack inside these walls shows the truth behind it all. I tried to fix what you denied, but truth can't live where secrets hide.
goodness. How are you Knicks fans doing, bro? Oh, my goodness, man. We're getting things started hot over here. Look at this guy. My God, Jay Solstice coming in big already, man. I didn't even get started. I'm not even there yet. Was SmackDown boring, Chad? Let me ask again. Was SmackDown boring? I don't know if it was boring, but it certainly was confusing. Triple H booked Dominik Mysterio versus Obafemi in the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament. Well, I guess we know who's going to the finals. What does that mean for the other side of the tournament? What does that mean for the other side? Who will meet Obafemi in the finals? Paul Levesque blowing up my bracket. Not in a good way. Raquel Rodriguez won her round. She meets Io in the second round. And I'm calling it right now. I'm putting the WWE Championship on Sami Zayn. Never mind Gunther. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks win. We're going to the venue. It's the last stream in my mother's basement for the season. Monday, we're moving the operations to the beer garden. And when I get there, we're going to party it up. So let's make it big tonight, because I want to know on this Friday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. It also isn't about excuses. WWE has failed creatively. AEW has failed fundamentally. So why did Triple H lose the plot? Why did Tony Khan abandon everything that made AEW special? Because nobody is committed to the one thing that actually matters: long-term booking. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post-show for June 5th, 2026. I'm your host, JD, from New York, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Friday evening, wherever you may be. And we got to shout him out because he came in big before we even got here on this Friday night. My gosh, Jay Solstice coming in here with a $100 super chat. In the year of boring pro wrestling,
Let us give thanks to Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser for reminding us why we still love professional wrestling. Gable IC champ at SummerSlam, or we riot. Thanks for all the great coverage. As always, cheers, brother. We got another round of applause there for my guy, Jay Solstice. I love that kind of energy to start the stream off, man. You guys are great. Solstice, thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate you guys being here on this Friday night, man. Knicks win by 1. The Knicks win by 1. 105-104. They now go up 2-0 on the San Antonio Spurs as they take the operation to Madison Square Garden. They could wrap it up in the Garden in 4 games. I would love for all this to be over as quickly as possible. So you guys are riding high right now. I'm sure the bars in New York City around Madison Square Garden are absolutely going bonkers, going crazy. If the Knicks win the finals, New York City's going to be even more of a shithole than it already is. You love to see it. So you Knicks fans are feeling pretty good right now, man. Everything is going your way. What is that, 13 in a row for the Knicks? Telling you, man, when you get hot in the playoffs, that's all that matters. These are the games that matter, man. These are when you want to win those games. This is when you want to be hot. Love to see it. Speaking of, I don't love to see it. Friday Night SmackDown. You know, man, I don't really have the energy to, like, just volcanic rant tonight. There's just no point. I would like to preserve my voice and preserve my energy. I don't even think that there is anything worth ranting about like that on this show anyway. I saw some people saying, oh man, JD's going to hate these results. I can't wait for this nuclear rant on Friday night. Bro, there's not going to be any nuclear rant. I may raise my voice here and there like I usually do. But there's really no reason to rant about this show. You know, the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring, which is a little bit more of a new concept. We never had Queen of the Ring before. For the longest time, it's always been King of the Ring. This is a new thing that WWE just started doing in most recent years. Everything's got to be equal. You got to do one for the men. You got to do one for the women. Happens with War Games. It happens with the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber. I'm more upset at what we're looking at for the men's tournament. I'm more upset about where we're going with the men's King of the Ring. I don't really give a shit about the women's Queen of the Ring. Hopefully WWE rounds out the rest of the field there on the left side with who they need to. But I want to start out by what we got tonight in the men's King of the Ring. On Monday, Obafemi advanced to the semifinals. Very good match. Very good match. He was in there with Carmelo Hayes and Solo Sikoa and Penta, the Intercontinental Champion. I think just by looking at the bracket, you kind of automatically figured who was going to win that match. There was no way Obafemi was not advancing to the semifinals. Then you look at the bracket on that same side of the tournament, and you look at who's in the men's match that took place tonight. You got Damian Priest. You got Trick Williams. I didn't really expect Damian Priest to win it. Trick Williams is the United States champion. I didn't think that they would put him in the semifinals against Obafemi. They could have. That would be two baby faces. That would be counterproductive. They could have played the same scenario out that we discussed on Monday with Trick Williams. Dominik Mysterio, who I don't think anybody gave a shot in the dark of winning this match tonight and going to the semifinals. And Bron Breakker, who a lot of people looked at as the odds-on favorite in this match to go wrestle Obafemi in the semifinals. If you didn't watch SmackDown tonight and you guessed Bron Breakker advanced, you are wrong. I was wrong. Many of us in the community were wrong. We got it wrong. Everybody also thought Bron Breakker was going to win this match tonight because coming out of Monday night, he lost a second match against Seth Rollins. They are now tied 1-1. Bron Breakker beat him at Backlash. Seth Rollins beat him on Monday night in Turin, Italy. WWE opted to go with Dominik Mysterio, winning the quarterfinal Fatal 4-Way, and now he wrestles Obafemi in the semifinals. Dominik Mysterio advances in the King of the Ring tournament. Those words coming out of my mouth, those words are just ridiculous. I heard from several people online today, you got to give Triple H credit, JD. He gave you something that was unpredictable, JD. Is it? Is it that unpredictable? I don't think it's that unpredictable. Unpredictable would be Sami Zayn beating Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. That, to me, would be unpredictable. That would be unpredictable. Dominik Mysterio advancing is not unpredictable. It's fucking stupid. That's what it is. There's not one single person here that wants to see, coming at it tonight, Dominik Mysterio advance to the semifinals in the King of the Ring tournament to wrestle Obafemi next week on Monday Night Raw in a one-on-one match, or whenever the fucking match takes place. There is nobody interested in seeing that match. You mean to tell me you want me to look at this tournament that is supposed to be for the number one contender for the WWE title or the World Heavyweight title, and you want me to take Dominik Mysterio to be a serious contender when he hasn't done a fucking thing on the show since the start of 2026? You want me to take that seriously? You want me to take that seriously? I will not take that seriously. I'll just take it and add it to the bucket of Triple H's creative is fucking terrible in 2026. You see, me and you, if you agree with this decision tonight, me and you, we look at things in a completely different way. When I look at a tournament, I want to see the best of the best of the best compete in the tournament, especially when the stakes are so high, when what is on the line is so high, so valuable. Dominik Mysterio does not fit that criteria. In fact, Dominik Mysterio has taken such of a backseat role, I don't even consider him for the championship he's actually holding right now. Honestly, Dominik Mysterio feels more like an enhancement talent. Dominik Mysterio seems like a second fiddle talent. Dominik Mysterio isn't even the best wrestler in his own group. Yet you want me to take Dominik Mysterio to be a contender in the King of the Ring tournament. These people are fucking brain dead. You suffer from brain rot. Get Triple H's dick out of your mouth and shut the fuck up. This creative sucks. Bron Breakker should have been the one to win this match because he just came off a loss. But WWE is now settling Bron Breakker into his tag team specialist role. We can't do anything more than tag team specialist with Bron Breakker now. Paul Heyman wasn't there. He took himself out with Trick Williams tonight. I mean, they're just treating Bron Breakker like just another guy. So they opted to go with Dominik Mysterio. Chat. Obafemi survived 6 F5s, fell to the 7th at Clash in Italy. And you want me to sit here and think that this match is going plus 90 seconds whenever it happens. So now we're stuck in a conundrum. Now we're stuck in a very sticky situation. If Obafemi is going to the finals, there is absolutely no way that Obafemi isn't winning the King of the Ring. There was a report that we talked about on Tuesday Night Titans with the Solid Monster, where plans for Roman Reigns at SummerSlam and WrestleMania are being discussed. The plans for WrestleMania they have in mind are against Seth Rollins or against Obafemi. Now, clearly, this is if The Rock plans fall through, because WrestleMania is taking place in Saudi Arabia, and WWE wants The Rock for Saudi Arabia, or I guess the Saudi government wants The Rock for WrestleMania. I don't know if Rock wants to come back because of the tensions within TKO and Triple H. Does The Rock want to come back and do this match under Triple H's administration? I mean, he might not have any choice. He might not have any choice. So if The Rock plans fall through for Roman at WrestleMania, the plans are Obafemi versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or we go Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, at this point, I don't look at Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins as a WrestleMania match. I would absolutely like to see it take place, and SummerSlam would be the best place for it. That's where I would do it. But now you just fuck things up, and Bron Breakker is not in the semifinal. You opted to put Dominik Mysterio in the semifinal. Now we got no fucking choice but to have Obafemi win the whole fucking thing. The whole idea was Bron Breakker versus Obafemi. And by the way, for the people that were like, oh, well, we can't do Obafemi versus Bron Breakker so soon, JD. Why not? Why not? What's wrong with giving people a tease of what the future of the company is going to look like? What's wrong with giving people a tease in this element with the biggest stakes on the line? What is so wrong with doing this match as a tease for what the WrestleMania main event 3 or 4 years from now is going to be? Those people, again, suffer from fucking brain rot. Get the fuck off social media and stop talking to unintelligent fucking ghouls. We should have did Bron Breakker versus Obafemi. Brock Lesnar could have made his presence known, being that he still wants a piece of Obafemi. It makes less sense now that he beat Obafemi, which is the reason why Obafemi should have won at Clash in Italy. It would have given Brock Lesnar all the ammunition to go and screw Obafemi at a King of the Ring. I don't know what happened there. Bron Breakker versus Obafemi. Bron Breakker should have won by bullshit means. Him and Seth Rollins should have been the final, and Rollins not only should have won the King of the Ring, but also ended the feud with Bron Breakker. And the Vision. And move on completely. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns should have been the direction for SummerSlam. I'm not sure that's the play anymore. And if we're looking at Obafemi in the final, I can't see him not winning this tournament. Unless they do everything I just talked about, what should have happened in the Bron Breakker match with Brock Lesnar. Do they fly Brock Lesnar all the way to Saudi Arabia to fuck Obafemi in the finals? And give Seth Rollins the win over Obafemi? Why would Rollins need the victory over Obafemi? Wouldn't you think it makes more sense to do Bron Breakker and Obafemi, give Bron Breakker the visual pin over Obafemi? So we're looking at what now? We're looking at a possible semifinal of Seth Rollins and Jey Uso, or LA Knight, depending on where they want to go. Maybe they go Finn Balor. Being that they want to fuck the rest of this tournament up, maybe they go Finn Balor. Give us a little taste of Rollins and Balor rematch there from all those years ago when Finn Balor won the first ever Universal Championship. Seth Rollins beats him, advances to the finals. It looks like we're looking at a Seth Rollins and Obafemi final for the King of the Ring. I just don't see how Seth Rollins survives Obafemi. I just don't. This is bad booking. This is bad booking. And if you think that Dominik Mysterio should win over Obafemi due to Judgment Day interference, or worst case, we run the Brock Lesnar angle with Dominik getting the win over Obafemi, Jesus fucking Christ. This creative team might as well just fucking put in their resignations. Dominik Mysterio going to the finals against whom? Who's getting the World Championship match at SummerSlam? Dominik Mysterio? Finn Balor? Jey Uso? LA Knight? There's nobody else but Obafemi and Seth Rollins. Nobody. Nobody else makes a match with Roman Reigns outside Seth Rollins and Obafemi. Dog shit creative. Absolutely dog shit creative. Here's a wrinkle for you. Here's a wrinkle for you. I don't know where the fuck CM Punk is. I don't know what they have planned for Gunther. I don't know what they have planned for Sami Zayn. I don't know what the fuck is going on. None of it really makes any sense. Here's a little wrinkle for you. If Obafemi does win the King of the Ring and he gets a championship opportunity, I thought it would be brand specific. I thought if Oba's on Raw, he wins the King of the Ring, he gets a World Heavyweight Championship match against Roman Reigns. Apparently, the rules have changed. It's if you win the King of the Ring, you can challenge for any championship you want, World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Championship. What if Obafemi wins the King of the Ring tournament and he challenges Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship and Obafemi wins the WWE title and moves over to Friday Night SmackDown? I mean, it's not that ridiculous of an idea. Then you can do Rollins and Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't see Roman Reigns losing the World Heavyweight Championship coming out of SummerSlam. I don't. Roman Reigns is going to be the World Heavyweight Championship going into WrestleMania next year. I don't know. They could have saved us all and made it so much simpler by having Bron Breakker advance and having Bron Breakker and Seth Rollins in the final of the King of the Ring. But here we are. No, it's not brand specific. It's not brand specific. You can choose any of the championships that you want. They mentioned it again on commentary tonight. Shit creative. On the women's side, it's less offensive. But again, I wouldn't have made the decision that they made tonight. Io Sky won her match on Raw. And she pinned Julia to advance to the semifinals. Now, looking at the field of women that they had in there tonight, there was Bayley and Kiana James, and there was JC Jane. I was looking at JC Jane advancing in this match because she's new and everybody's riding high on JC Jane. And I think JC Jane versus Io probably would have made a better match. Plus, you get a heel versus babyface dynamic. WWE opted to go with the winner in Raquel Rodriguez. And everybody's like, oh, well, there's a storyline there, JD, with Liv Morgan. A storyline with Liv Morgan. You want me to take Raquel Rodriguez in this tournament and play out a dead Judgment Day angle in the Queen of the Ring tournament when we don't need the Queen of the Ring tournament to tell such a story or to do such an angle? You want to include this slop in the tournament, and by default, because you want to have it play out between both ladies, you want Raquel to advance in the semifinals or to the semifinals. That's why you want it, and that's why you're okay with Raquel Rodriguez winning this match? What happened to booking the best tournament that you could possibly book? Why are we playing out fucking middle-of-the-road, low-end storylines in a tournament because Triple H doesn't have any fucking idea about how to tell an actual story on Monday night, on a regular Monday night? This is what you want. This is what you want to come to the battle with. This is your excuse. Oh, well, there's a storyline out there with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. So let's play it out in the fucking tournament. We're just bypassing the whole fucking Queen of the Ring tournament for a garbage storyline. Is that what you want me to believe? Instead of going with the best matches. Raquel Rodriguez is not a championship contender. Liv Morgan shouldn't even be in the fucking tournament. Why is she there? The tournament is put together to find her an opponent. Not for her to win the fucking tournament. Who wants to see a Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez final? Who? That's what you want? Nobody wants to see that. The Judgment Day is at its lowest it's ever been, yet this show is dominated by Judgment Day advancing to the semifinal. We got 2 semifinal matches for the Queen and King of the Ring tournament with Judgment Day, a dead faction on Monday Night Raw. They've never been colder. Dominik hasn't done a fucking thing since January. And Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, the storyline is at the bottom of the barrel. Do you genuinely think Raquel Rodriguez is going to beat Io Sky? No, but let's play out the storyline that they have in the fucking tournament. Who said we needed the tournament to play that out? Why do we need it to take place in the tournament when we could do that any day, any given week? What do I know? What do I know? So now we're looking at Io and Raquel. The other prediction that everybody had in Paris on Monday was going to be Stephanie Vicaire shows up and ruins Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan hasn't defended the world championship since she's won it from Stephanie Vicaire at WrestleMania. If we go into Night of Champions with her being the champion and her not defending the title, I think it's time to have a discussion about taking the fucking title off of Liv Morgan and put it on someone that you actually want to put in a feud. Or someone that's healthy. Everybody thinks that Stephanie Vicaire is going to come out and screw Liv Morgan, which will then lead to a match because they built the match before Stephanie went away to go rehabilitate her injury. So if she shows up on Monday, at least we get the championship match between them at Night of Champions. And Becky Lynch could go on, or Alexa Bliss could go on and advance to the semifinal. I'm going with Becky because I don't really see how Becky is in the fucking tournament and at least doesn't advance after losing to Sol Ruka. Then you got Charlotte and Jade and Sol Ruka and Lyra Valkyria in the other match. That's where things get a little bit more interesting. You could go Charlotte and Alexa. You could go Becky and Charlotte. You could go Becky and Sol Ruka again. I don't know what that would do. That would be counterproductive. I think we go Charlotte and Becky. That's the best match, but I don't know what the fuck this company's going to do. They'll probably use the fucking tournament to play out Charlotte and Alexa in the tournament. We don't need Charlotte and Alexa to play out their storyline in the tournament. You could play that out on any given Friday. We don't need that to take place in the tournament. The tournament should be the battleground for the best matches. That's what a tournament should be. Charlotte, Becky, Io, and Raquel. Those are the 4 women I'm going with. Charlotte and Io, I could see that being the final. Becky and Io, I could see that being the final. All in all, I'm still sticking with my pick, which is Io. Io's a little bit more easier to predict for the women. The men, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. The point is, everybody's like, oh, Triple H, he threw all the marks in their fantasy booking in the trash. And he showed you, haha. Meanwhile, what he did was just make the tournament all that much more predictable. Who wants to watch Monday Night Raw versus Obafemi and Dominik Mysterio? What a throwaway match. What a throwaway match. Io and Raquel, a throwaway match. Oh, man. Liv Morgan's going to try and help Raquel Rodriguez, and there's going to be more tension. Oh, man. Do we need the tournament to play that out? I think WWE dropped the ball big time. I think WWE dropped the ball big time with these tournaments. They've become not fun. They haven't. If WWE is planning to give Obafemi the King of the Ring, there's no way this man should not be the WWE champion or the World Heavyweight champion coming out of this tournament. But then they want to sell you on another match with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi in Minneapolis, of all places. So if Brock Lesnar is going to help whomever beat Oba, don't you think Bron Breakker would have been the guy, being that he's got the affiliation with Paul Heyman? It don't even make sense for Brock Lesnar to want to attack Obafemi. He beat Obafemi. He won. What else does he want? WWE really may be thinking. WWE really may be thinking. Just thinking out loud here. If I'm looking at SummerSlam, WWE really may be thinking Obafemi and either Roman or Cody. Brock Lesnar may be looking at Gunther at SummerSlam. They may still want to go with the career killer. This may be, if Oba wins the King of the Ring, they may be moving on. Maybe we really do get Brock and Gunther. If we get Brock and Gunther, if Oba wins the King of the Ring, you can either do Oba Cody or Oba Roman. Seth probably gets Bron Breakker again in the third and final match. They'll probably drag that shit out. I don't know. I'm just trying to think out loud about what WWE may be doing and where they may be going. We're going to try and make sense of the rest of this show. Elsewhere on this show, we had Chad Gable make his return to television. Chad Gable is back on TV. Whether or not he's on Friday Night SmackDown remains to be seen. But he did have a face-to-face with Rey Fenix. So we'll talk about that and where Chad Gable really should be going into SummerSlam. Also, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley teased the match because Charlotte's in the Queen of the Ring tournament. She got called out by Jade Cargill and the Not So Baddies. And Carmelo Hayes goes one-on-one with Ricky Saints again for a third week in a row. And The Miz gets electrocuted because he fucked with Danhausen's scientific experiment. All this and more today on this Friday Night SmackDown post-show. It is your Friday, June 5th, 2026. Thank you guys very much for joining me here on this Friday. Bron is going to attack Oba and cost him his match against Dom. And we'll set up a match next month with Bron versus Oba. Then Brock will show up in that match. Why would Bron attack Oba? Dominik, you want Dominik to go to the finals. Do you guys hear yourself? Who wants to see Dominik Mysterio get a pinfall over Obafemi in that type of situation? Nobody. I don't know, man. Bron's got no beef with Oba at all. Lesnar, Gunther, Oba, Roman, Seth, and Bron. Maybe we do Punk and Cody. Maybe Randy and Cody. Maybe we do Punk and Sami Zayn. I don't know where CM Punk fits in. That's another anomaly, man. I don't really know. You know, Punk is friends with Cody, and I'm sure he's watching from afar and seeing what's going on Friday Night SmackDown. Maybe he kind of interjects himself in this situation. I'm just trying to think out loud about what SummerSlam could look like. Rock is going to cost Oba in Saudi, but why? Why fly all the way to Saudi Arabia? Why do that? That makes no sense. There's no sense in him attacking Oba to begin with. Anyway, man, we've had a great week so far. We had a stream on Monday with Monday Night Raw. We had a great stream on Tuesday with the Solid Monster. We went over a lot. We looked back at Clash in Italy. We talked about the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. Go check all that stuff out. I was live on Wednesday night flying solo with the Dynamite post show. Go and check that out. Really great stuff there. Nobody gives a fuck about AEW, but I still did my thing. Jesse will be back on Wednesday. All is okay with him. He feels a lot better today. I texted him to see how he was doing. He's good to go. Shout out to Jesse. If there's any news, any content to be made, I'll be in your sub boxes this weekend, but by the looks of it, it seems very, very slow right now. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Again, go check out all that content on the channel. Some good stuff there. Hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 700 likes is the goal. We're already more than halfway there. 700 is very doable. So make sure you guys go and do that for me. Super chats are open in these slow times, in these slow periods where nothing's going on. The best way to support is via the super chats. So make sure you guys get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Again, shout out to Jay Solstice. I can't talk tonight. Jay Solstice with the $100 super chat. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. And tonight we're sponsored by my great friends over at Mars Men. Mars Men is the sponsor for tonight's show. Men, go to Mars.com. 50% off for life. We'll talk about them a little bit later on in the show tonight right here on Off the Scripts. We are going to start things off with what I thought was the best thing on the entire show tonight, and that was Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. Gunther felt like an afterthought. Gunther started the show off, and he comes out very angry. Gunther's very angry because he lost that Clash in Italy. He's throwing things off the announce desks. He's ripping things apart at ringside. Nothing happens here tonight until I get what I want. I want justice for what happened to me at Clash in Italy. You all saw it. I'm the greatest professional wrestler in the world. I got ring awareness like nobody else before. And I intentionally put my foot underneath the rope. And when that foot is underneath there, the pinfall can't be counted. The ref knows it. Cody knows it. And that means Cody didn't beat me. Oh, but we saw Cody beat you. It's in the record books now that Cody beat you. Cody took advantage of that. And he cheated. Cody took away what's rightfully mine. So here we are. I'm standing here in front of you without the WWE Championship. And the golden boy can carry on kissing everyone's butt around here. Is it so difficult to use the word ASS? Is it so difficult to use the word ass? What are we on? Sesame Street. Oh, the golden boy can carry on kissing everybody's butt, man. Gunther's a badass. He shouldn't be using the very, very G-rated butt. B-U-T-T. Let's get some more adult language on these shows. Cody, look at me. I know. You and I both know. Cody comes on out and he's aura farming his entrance because that's all he knows how to do. After several minutes of aura farming his entrance, Gunther. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you're right. Yeah, I mean, your foot was underneath the rope, but you're a 20-year pro. Have you never heard or never had a controversial ending that short you on the winnings before? And you're out here, you're all big mad with your quad all over Michael Cole and Wade Barrett's desk. His loafers, his quad opers, he said. Whatever the fuck he said. I don't know. He mentioned something about his shoes. All over Michael Cole and Wade Barrett's desk, all upset, yelling at these people, tearing stuff up. Hey, you're a student of this game. You're a pro, so you'll understand this reference. Sometimes you're the hero, and you save all the little piggies from the cold-blooded sausage maker. And other times, Gunther, you are the cold-blooded sausage maker. And when it comes to you and I know which one I am. But hey, we don't need to do this formally right now. Let's go ahead and say it. It's Friday night. The lights are bright. Like you said, I only need to make one phone call. And I don't even think I need to make that phone call. If you want to do this, a rematch for the WWE Championship, let's do it right here in Bologna. Let's do it. I'm so glad he didn't use his catchphrase, I'm easy to find and hard to beat. Cody. Sami Zayn comes on out. Sami Zayn kind of aura farmed his entrance too. Comes on out, he's got the fans singing. Fans were very pro Sami Zayn here tonight. First of all, I have to say, thank you to all my ride or die fans here in Italia. That's the kind of respect I've been looking for, and I appreciate it. I do. I really do. And listen, I really tried to just stay back there and do the right thing and not get involved and let these guys deal with their business. I was trying, but at a certain point, I can't hear this anymore. Because Gunther is out here complaining about getting robbed from a world championship opportunity. Trust me, pal, I know how that feels. I do. And then we got Cody Rhodes, of course. The golden boy, he's ready to fight. He's ready to go right now. What else is new? But the two of you seem to be ignoring the fact that both of you did me wrong. Gunther then says, as he's still standing on the announce desk, you know what, Sammy? This is WWE Championship business. It doesn't involve you. So do me a favor, shut up and get out of the ring. You're right, Gunther. You're right. When it comes to the World Championship, I might not know that much about it because I've never held a World Championship before. But I do know a thing or two about beating you for championships. Cody then gets involved here and says, Sammy, listen, I don't even know which Sammy I'm getting right now. Are you the last real good guy? Are you the guy a few weeks ago watched the light fade from my eyes while Gunther choked me out? And you walked away from me? Listen, I know that you're a good guy. I do. And got the big win over Matt Cardona last week. And now you want the WWE Championship. The problem is, Sammy, I'm a little busy now. And he points over at Gunther. Of course. I got to tell you something, Cody. This is why our friendship is in the state that it's in, because for the last few months, every time things are a little hairy here, instead of talking about it, you're always blowing me off. You're always looking past me. You're looking at the next threat to you, the next threat to your world championship. Maybe you need to realize that the biggest threat to your championship might just be looking you in the eyes right now. Mentioning himself. And that's something we need to have a discussion about. Is that so, Sammy? Says Cody. Listen, I'm just saying. You're the one who said you're going to beat Gunther and teach me a lesson. Well, you beat Gunther. When do you want to teach me that lesson? Gunther then shoved Cody. He got off the announce desk and ran into the ring behind Cody. He shoved Cody into Sammy. Sammy goes to the outside. Gunther applies the sleeper hold. Sammy then gets in the ring and he rakes the eyes of Gunther. Now, I'm thinking the way that they tried to play this off was that Sammy thinks Cody attacked him. I'm thinking the way that they played this out is Sammy didn't see Gunther shove Cody into Sammy. So Sammy's upset at Cody. So he gets in there and he rakes the eyes of Gunther. Gunther dumps Sammy out of the ring. Cody with the double leg takedown. Ground and pound. Sammy pulls Gunther out of the ring. Sammy tees off on Gunther. Cody goes for the suicide dive. Gunther shoves Sammy into the path. Sammy refuses to help. Or Sammy refuses, rather, help from Cody. And Cody offered his hand to get Sammy up off the mat. And Sammy just walks away. That's the way the segment came to an end. Now, again, I'm not sure if that's the way that they played it off. Sammy thinking that Cody intentionally bumped into him in the ring. He did go after Gunther, though. So I'm assuming that he realized that Gunther shoved him. But Cody then lunged at Gunther and intentionally hits, or unintentionally hits Sammy. And then Sammy took that to be Cody attacking him. You know, we're talking about Sammy and Gunther and Cody and this little triangle here for the WWE Championship. And they made mention tonight. I'm going to mention this here because this goes in line with what we're talking about. Gunther had a backstage segment with Nick Aldis. After all this melee in the beginning of the show, Gunther was yelling at Nick Aldis. He's very proud of himself because he's the only one looking out for himself. Ever since Gunther has arrived on SmackDown, instead of treating him like the gift that he is, Nick Aldis treats him like he doesn't belong. He's sick and tired of the disrespect. Nick says he's just treating Gunther with the same amount of disrespect he's shown him ever since they started negotiating. Gunther tells Nick to fix this because if he doesn't, he's going to get his legal team involved. There's going to be so many lawsuits that Nick's grandchildren will need a lawyer. What is it with all the heels? Can I just mention this? What is it with all the heels on this show that go up against Cody Rhodes, all having the same dialogue and all having the same storyline with Cody Rhodes? Gunther's upset at Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes took a cheap way out. The heel feels robbed. The next week after the pay-per-view, he's got to complain about it. He causes a commotion on the show. He destroys stuff at ringside. He clears the announce desk. Sometimes the heel gets suspended. Sometimes the heel quits. Then they all approach Nick Aldis and do something stupid or say something out of line. They get thrown out of the building. They get their lawyers involved, like here with Gunther. Why is it that all the heels have the same storyline with Cody Rhodes every single time? Kevin Owens felt like he was robbed. Kevin Owens felt like he was looked down upon. He went on a crusade saying he was right. And it was very difficult not to believe Kevin Owens. Drew McIntyre recently did it. He went on a crusade that he was right and that Cody was the golden boy and gets everything handed to him. And he felt cheated. Drew McIntyre even quit the show to come back and get one over on Cody Rhodes and then sit down with Nick Aldis and get lawyers involved for a WWE Championship, which he eventually got and won, only to then lose it. And now we're doing Gunther, who got robbed, called Cody Rhodes the golden boy, wants another rematch, gets lawyers involved, gets upset with Nick Aldis. What is the rerun slop when it comes to Cody Rhodes? Why are all of Cody Rhodes' feuds So similar. Does this writing team know how to do anything else for Cody Rhodes? Or do they treat all the heels like the same? Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, now Gunther. Tell me when I'm telling lies with this lazy fucking creative. It's garbage. I needed to get that off my chest. Awful. Secondly, Nick Aldis later in the show saw Cody Rhodes leaving the building. He stopped Cody Rhodes. If I can find the dialogue here, I want to read it to you because there lies within what comes next. Nick wants to make sure that Cody was okay with the proposed rematch for Gunther. He wants it. He wanted to do it tonight, said Cody, but clearly Gunther had already left the building. Nick just got off the phone with Gunther's legal team. Long story short, they're willing to accept the terms for the rematch under one condition. Gunther will be deciding that condition on next week's SmackDown. Cody is tired of waiting. In 2 weeks, they'll be in Kansas City. That's where the rematch will take place. So if we are to believe whatever this condition is by the legal team of Gunther's, I don't know what it could be at this point. I'm not having Gunther beat Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I'm not. I'm having Sami Zayn get involved. I'm having Sami Zayn cost Gunther the match. Again, protecting Gunther in some weird way, whether it's a DQ or something along those lines. Gunther should not be pinned again by Cody Rhodes. Sami Zayn does enough to get Cody to put the championship on the line against Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I'm having Sami Zayn beat Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. You want unpredictable. Dominik Mysterio winning a fatal four-way and wrestling Obafemi in the semifinals is not what I call unpredictable. No. Raquel Rodriguez winning her match over Kiana James and JC Jane and Bayley is not unpredictable. Sami Zayn wrestling Cody Rhodes for the WWE title and beating Cody Rhodes for the WWE title is what I call fucking things up. I would do it. Whether it lasts 2 weeks, a week, a month, I do it. That's what I do. I don't know if WWE's got the balls to do that. Sami Zayn right now is the most captivating and interesting character on the show. His interactions with Cody are the most interesting aspect of this entire show. Gunther winning the championship is not going to be a long-term thing. They're not going to put the title on Gunther and have him run Friday Night SmackDown. I think putting the title on Sami Zayn in this short term would not only make the show a lot more interesting, but it would be the unpredictable that we know Triple H doesn't have the balls to show us he has. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Now, so I see someone in the chat saying, Randy costing Cody. I don't know where Randy is, and to be quite honest with all of you guys, I don't even give a shit about the Randy and Cody feud anymore because that got ruined, and I don't give a fuck about it anymore. The fact that Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes got ruined as much as it did, to the level that it did at WrestleMania, and Pat McAfee was involved, and we saw the punt kick that went off the air on night one, and we haven't seen or heard from Randy Orton since then, I don't care. I don't care. If they go back to it, it has zero fuel. I don't care. We're moving on. In fact, I'd move Randy to Monday night. That's how much they fucked it up. That's how much they ruined everything. I'd move Randy to Monday night. Get him off for Friday. Don't even give a fuck. I'm having Sami Zayn win the WWE title. Whether it's something that they are planning to do, I think Saudi Arabia is the right place to do it. It's not a long-term thing. Give him a month. Give him a month. I mean, for Christ's sakes, we took the belt off of MJF to put it on Darby fucking Allin for a month. I think we can put the title on Sami Zayn and have him beat Cody Rhodes for a month. It would fuck things up for a little bit. Plus, it would also enhance Sami's character to where he would be just completely obnoxious. You want to really complete the heel turn for Sami Zayn? That would be a great way to go about it. I would take that chance. But it looks like we're getting a WWE Championship match in 2 weeks in Kansas City. I thought that we'd be saving this for Night of Champions. But they may be doing that in Kansas City, honestly, to give Sami Zayn either Cody or Gunther in a triple threat match. I could see it. I could see it. And I would not be against that at all. Women's Queen of the Ring, first match here. Jacy Jayne, Bayley, Raquel Rodriguez, and Kiana James. Now, Kiana had Julia in her corner. Bayley had nobody. Raquel Rodriguez had Liv Morgan. And Jacy Jayne had Fatal Influence. This was fine. There was nothing overly special about this. It went through 2 commercial breaks. I don't know why this needed 2 commercial breaks. But this went 15 minutes. Raquel Rodriguez advances to the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. So we'll pick it up after the first commercial break. They went to commercial break after 2 minutes. So everybody got their ring entrances. Bayley gave Jacy Jayne a Bayley to belly. Raquel Rodriguez was on the outside. She gets in the ring, took everybody down with a big crossbody. We go into a commercial break. We come back from the commercial break. Raquel Rodriguez chokeslams Bayley and Jacy Jayne, does a dual cover on both of them. The referee counted. Kiana James landed on the back of Raquel and broke up the pinfall. That was ahead of a second commercial break. We come back to action after 2 commercial breaks, and we ride this out till the end. Bayley landed a big top rope elbow drop on Kiana James. Kiana broke up the cover. Once again, clearly, we had Bayley down. Bayley had Jacy's shoulders down for the 3 count, and it looked like Kiana, I think, took a little bit too much time. I think she came in with a springboard dive. Bro, just fucking break up the pin. Why do we need to come in with a slingshot or a springboard? It's like, if you're going to do that type of thing, man, you got to plan it out, and you got to jump early so that the breakup of the pinfall makes sense. People are jumping. I mean, Bayley's got Jacy covered here. Kiana tries to break it up. She's doing the whatever she's doing over the rope, she's literally doing it as the referee's hitting the 2 count. Like, bro, you gotta do it earlier. Otherwise, the referee's holding up its count, and it looks fucking awkward. Stop it. So, Kiana, she comes back with what she calls the deal breaker. And then she hits a standing moonsault for a near fall. Jayne covers Bayley with her boot on the second rope. Bayley shoved her boots off the middle rope. Kiana is, at this point, yelling at Julia. Now, this entire situation with Julia was so fucking awkward. So, Kiana, she has Bayley pinned in the ring, and Jacy Jayne's on the outside. Kiana's got her boots on the rope, looking for a leverage pin. Julia's out there in Kiana's corner, so she's there to help. Jacy, she pulls Kiana's boots off the rope, and Julia is there shoving Jacy Jayne away. So Kiana looks over and sees Julia on the outside, thinking that Julia was the one who shoved her boots off the rope. Meanwhile, she turns around in time to see, legitimately, Julia shoving Jacy Jayne down. None of this made any sense to me. So Kiana's got Bayley pinned. She's got her boots on the rope. JC moves Kiana's boots off the ropes. Julia shoves JC down, and Kiana blames Julia for pulling her boots off the rope. Bro, I don't know who came up with this spot. This was so fucking bad. This looked awkward as fuck. I don't know why Julia would be blamed for something like this when Kiana turned around and physically saw Julia pushing JC Jane down. Very awkward, man. Very awkward. So at this point, she's like, I was about to win. I was about to win. Were you? Maybe if you stop yelling at your partner who is innocent, maybe you would have had a chance to win. So from behind, Bayley gave Kiana a rose plant. Raquel came in and gave James the Tejana bomb for the 1, 2, 3. I don't know, chat. Not only did the ending angle here with Kiana James and Julia not make any sense, but Raquel Rodriguez winning and advancing does not make any sense. Oh, but there's a connection between Io and Raquel, JD. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody. If you poll anybody and ask them, who would you want to win this match? I guarantee you it would be Bayley, JC, maybe Raquel third, and then Kiana fourth. If you polled people, who do you want Io to wrestle in the semifinals? Bayley would absolutely be far and away number one. And then it would be JC. And then Raquel, and then Kiana. WWE opted to go with Raquel Rodriguez because of whatever history her and Io have, and then whatever the Judgment Day is going through right now, because they feel like this tournament needs this. The Judgment Day angle with the tension between Liv and Raquel and Roxanne. It needs the Queen of the Ring tournament. The tournament should be the foundation for the best of the best competing for the ultimate prize in the company. I thought JC would go on to get Io. I thought that would have been the solid match to do. Give JC Jane a big win here. Give her a taste of what the Queen of the Ring tournament's about. Have her eventually fall in a competitive match, looking good to Io as Io goes to the finals. No, they're going to go Raquel Rodriguez and then play out the Judgment Day tension that doesn't really need the tournament, and a Judgment Day faction, which right now is ice cold. Great. Fantastic. At the end of the match, Julia helped Kiana James up afterwards. James is upset. She's telling her that she's going off and going on her own. After all I did for you, this is how you repay me. I don't need you. I'm worrying about me now. She's sick of Julia, so she shoves Julia. She shoves Julia again. Julia had enough of this, and she takes Kiana James down, and it looks like we may be going on to them feuding, and we may be splitting them up completely for good, which they did tonight, and then the match itself will solidify that, and they can hopefully move on to bigger and better things. The closing angle with Kiana and Julia, and the moment in which Kiana blamed Julia in the match for her not winning, felt incredibly forced. Like, I understand you want to break these two away because it's just not working anymore and it's just dead in the water. Bro, you got to at least make it somewhat believable. It genuinely felt like WWE is just reaching the end of the road with these two, and they did whatever they needed to do to split them up completely. And Kiana James, I think Kiana is great. I think she's absolutely going to be one of the future pieces of the division. I hope that WWE knows what they have in Kiana. I thought she wrestled a very good match. And Michael Cole on commentary tonight said Kiana is probably one of the most undervalued or underappreciated, underrated talents in the division. He's absolutely correct. I think you give that woman time to cook and Keanu James could be an absolute beast in this division. The Miz. The Miz was on the phone with Kit Wilson, and he's backstage. He's FaceTiming Kit. Kit couldn't make the trip because of TSA problems and because of the amount of moisturizer he puts in his travel bags. Bro, if you know that's the reason why you can't make it overseas, then maybe you should follow the rules and travel with less moisturizer. Kit can smell the toxicity from his phone. Miz is walking towards Danhausen's secret science laboratory. He starts complaining to Kit Wilson about the Cleveland Cavaliers getting bounced in the playoffs and Cleveland Browns trading Myles Garrett. Kit says, enough of this American sports talk. So he sees Danhausen's lab. He walks in. He sees the body underneath the white cloth on the gurney. He tries to take a peek at it. Danhausen appears, and he's wearing a robe like he just came out of the sauna. So he appears, and Miz is trying to return the favor for Danhausen invading his house. He was throwing things around, knocking things around off the table in the laboratory until he sees this big contraption that has wires all attached to it. And he says, what about this? And Danhausen says, I wouldn't touch that if I were you. Please don't touch that. So the Miz puts his hand on this big electrical box that's hooked up to the fucking body. He gets electrocuted. He falls to the ground. He's laying on his side. His cell phone is facing up with Kit Wilson screaming, are you okay? Miz, Miz, Miz. Danhausen reaches down and he says, I was looking for this. And he takes a bite of an Italian hoagie. Yes, this is exactly what happened. Yes. Yes, the Miz got electrocuted in Danhausen's laboratory. Yes. This is why SmackDown was not given the time of day this afternoon by yours truly. I waited till tonight to watch this slop. I was not wasting my afternoon watching this. This is why. Moving on. Sami Zayn's throwing a massive fit backstage, knocking down multiple water bottles. What did that water bottle ever do to you, Sammy? Every week it's attacking water bottles. Sammy's like, I've been looking for you. And he sees Johnny Gargano laying on a production crate again. Can you imagine being Johnny Gargano, being flown or asked to fly to Bologna, Italy, for a role on Friday Night SmackDown so that he may appear on camera for 45 seconds, one segment, laying on a production crate, looking comatose, as Sami Zayn is asking for your opinion? But hey, I guess him and his wife got a vacation out of WWE in beautiful Bologna, Italy. Can't be all that bad. Sammy vents about trying to do the right thing, yet continuing to be dropped by Cody Rhodes. Guys like him and Gargano continue to get the short end of the stick. Nick Aldis comes on in, joins the conversation. Nick Aldis tells Sammy he's going to keep this short and sweet. Stay out of Gunther and Cody's business. Sammy says that they made their business his business. What is Nick talking about? Nick Aldis says that Sammy took a bad situation and made it worse. Is Sammy in the wrong for defending himself, he says? Nick says, I don't have time for this because I have an important meeting to attend. Once again, Nick, you're pushing me to the side, yet you have all the time in the world for everybody else. What's so important? Who's so important that you can't give me 1 minute of your time? Chad Gable appears in a fancy suit. He stares at Sami Zayn. Sami stares at Chad Gable. Chad Gable walks into Nick Aldis's office. I don't know what this means. Does this mean Chad Gable's being moved to Friday Night SmackDown? I would not move Chad Gable to Friday Night SmackDown. I would keep Chad Gable on Raw. The Judgment Day. They're backstage on a staircase somewhere. J.D. McDonough was looking for Roxanne Perez. Liv Morgan says that Roxanne is still sulking over her loss on Monday. Liv shares a nice embrace with Raquel Rodriguez saying, yes, you won. I knew you could do it by yourself. Liv says, as long as they keep winning, they can face each other in the finals of the Queen of the Ring, and then one of them will beat Rhea Ripley and bring the WWE Women's Championship back to the clubhouse. Now, I know this is probably going to be used as ammunition for their eventual tease of a breakup or furthering the tension. If you're Raquel Rodriguez and you listen to this from Liv Morgan, you and I are going to face each other, and one of us is going to go on to wrestle Rhea Ripley and bring the other championship back to the Judgment Day. Bitch, you already have a title. What is Raquel Rodriguez listening to? Like, she should already be upset at Liv Morgan. This is not the first time she said it. Like, Raquel Rodriguez, this should be her tournament. Liv Morgan should not be in the tournament. Liv Morgan should not be in the tournament. At all. You and I are going to face each other. Ha ha! One of us is going to beat Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam for the women's title. Ha ha! I already have a title. I'm going to add another one. Ha ha! And Raquel Rodriguez is, yeah! That's a great idea, Liv! Who writes this shit? So Dominik says that he's going to win the King of the Ring, and then the Judgment Day will have all the gold in WWE. Well, you got to win the King of the Ring and then beat either Roman or Cody, Dominik. Winning King of the Ring doesn't mean that the Judgment Day is going to have all the gold. You got to do, with the King of the Ring tournament win, what you need to do to have all the Judgment Day have all the gold. Raquel noticed Liv tries to save face by saying that the focus should be on Daddy Dom winning his quarterfinal tonight. So she did notice. She didn't really make a big deal about it. Bro, the Judgment Day storyline with Liv being greedy does not need the tournament. It does not need the tournament. I'm sorry. Royce Keys versus Tola Tonga with the MFTs. Tonga, or I was going to say Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa out there. Tola Tonga, Tonga Loa, he's gone. Jeff Cobb, gone. Just Tola Tonga and Tama Tonga. Bro, you could not pay me to give a single iota of a fuck about anything the MFTs do. I just don't care. Does anybody here in the chat care about the MFTs and what they do on a Friday night? Does anybody care about Royce Keys battling the MFTs? No, I didn't think so. I did not think so. Tola Tonga beat Royce Keys by pinfall. We'll pick it up at the end here because that's all that matters. So Royce Keys tried to slam Tola Tonga. Tola blocked it. He dropped onto the chest of Royce Keys because he tried to do the big power slam and he fell over on Royce Keys. Running boot from Tola Tonga in the corner. He missed, which gave Keys the opening. He continued with some strikes. He took Tola out, and running clotheslines did not knock him off his feet. And the big slam attempt. So Tola missed the running splash in the corner. Opened them up for Royce Keys, knocking him off his feet. Big pounce. Royce Keys finally hits the big power slam on Tola Tonga. He pulls the strap down. Solo Sikoa got on the apron to distract as Tama Tonga tried to instigate here. He ate a punch. Keys got back in the ring. He got hit with a big boot from Tama Tonga, and he gets hit with a big power bomb by Tama Tonga, and that's enough for the win. So Tama Tonga beats Royce Keys. Post-match, Solo had Tama and Tama Tonga attack Royce Keys until R-Truth ran in to make the save. So obviously the numbers game of the MFTs were too much for R-Truth. Damian Priest ran down, but not to save Royce Keys. He left him by himself. So he got taken out by Tama Tonga. And he's out there arguing with R-Truth. Why are you out here? Why are you out here? You don't need to save this guy. We don't trust him. You're my partner. You're the only one that I need to look out for. So they continued to beat up on Royce Keys, and they just left him laying there. Bro, the MFTs are legitimately one of the most boring factions that the WWE has produced in years. There's legitimately nothing interesting. I'll give Solo credit. Solo, by default, is the most interesting of the characters, and Solo's the only one that has anything about him fleshed out. I don't care about Tama Tonga. We've heard maybe one or two words come out of his mouth. I don't care. And Tama Tonga looked to have some sort of tension with Solo, and now that seemingly has been dropped. I thought they would do something with him, maybe breaking away on his own, and maybe him going solo. He's lost his tag team partner. He's got nobody now. None of this is interesting. None of it. The most boring faction in many, many, many years that WWE's produced. And there's no other faction in the WWE that is going to do battle with the Bloodline. Nobody. Not the Vision, not the Judgment Day when it's comprised of mostly women. There's not another faction. We got a vignette arriving Finn Balor's arrival on Friday Night SmackDown. He has his first match back on SmackDown next week. King of the Ring quarterfinal. Jey Uso, LA Knight, Finn Balor, and Royce Keys will be in that match next week on SmackDown. R-Truth, he's backstage with Damian Priest. R-Truth asked Priest, why didn't he come out there to help Royce Keys? Priest says, I don't know Royce Keys. And if I'm going to help anybody, it's going to be my tag team partner. You know, the guy that I have the tag team titles with? Yeah, you. Priest says truth is all that matters. I don't trust Royce Keys. I'm focused on King of the Ring, and I'm focused on SummerSlam. Truth wants to check up on Royce Keys. Priest says that Truth is not a doctor. Truth then says his older brother was a doctor. You know, the doctor of thugonomics? The War Raiders appear. Randomly. The War Raiders appear. Eric and Ivar. They're holding their new AAA World Tag Team Championships. They then challenged Damian Priest and R-Truth to a title versus title match. Ivar says that they're ready for everybody and nobody is ready for war. Truth says, I've never met either one of you a day in my life. And that's exactly the reaction that should have been with the War Raiders. Bro, the last time we saw the War Raiders, they were a Monday Night Raw tag team. And then they show up on Friday Night SmackDown, unadvertised, unannounced, randomly, in a backstage segment with R-Truth and Damian Priest. R-Truth, really, because Damian Priest walked away. R-Truth challenging the WWE Tag Team Champions? For what? The reason why you move the War Raiders down to AAA is because nobody gives a fuck about the War Raiders on the main roster. Yet you think because they won the AAA Tag Team Championships that this is all of a sudden going to give them that interest from the fans? Bro, nobody cares. I promise you, nobody cares. Keep them down in AAA and let's do something else with the tag team titles, like fixing the division that you have currently on the main roster. Next week on SmackDown, Charlotte Flair battles Sol Ruca, Lyra Valkyria, and Jade Cargill for the first round of the Queen of the Ring tournament. So Rhea Ripley's out there. She's got an in-ring segment after aura farming her entrance. Hello, Bologna. This past Sunday at Clash in Italy, I finally put Jade Cargill behind me. Obviously, I didn't come completely unscathed out of that match. As you can see, my knee is a little banged up. I love you guys. You see, Jade came into that match. She came in with a little bit of a game plan. She came in with the plan to try and take me out. She came in with the plan to try and use the numbers against me. But Jade, you failed to take me out because I'm still your WWE Women's Champion. And as far as the numbers game that you got and you tried to play well, I had a nice unexpected friend come out and help me with that little situation, didn't I? So Charlotte Flair comes on out. She's like, all right, champ. Listen, I know that you didn't ask for my help, and here's the thing. I am the queen. I understand not asking for help. I get that, but I had your back because I respect you. And if I'm being honest, the last few weeks, I've actually had a lot of fun teaming alongside you, getting a tattoo after Clash in Italy, and just wrestling beside you after our history. But here's the thing. The Queen of the Ring is in a few weeks, and I am a competitor at heart. I am the queen. I am Charlotte Flair. I am the 14-time women's champion. Has it been that many times? I don't remember or look back at a single fucking thing that she did memorable in all 14 reigns. I don't remember a single thing of note that she did in all 14 reigns. That's how irrelevant the reigns have been. All I know is that she's lost the belt 13 times. 14 times. So if I'm being honest, as much as it's been fun to team alongside you, at SummerSlam, it's going to be me standing in front of you because you still have what I want. Tiffany Stratton comes on out. Hi, Rhea. Hi, Bologna. Hi, Charlotte. I know it's been a while, but, you know, if someone were to tell me that we would be out here and not beating the crap out of each other, I would have called them crazy. Hello, Tiffany, says Charlotte. Are you out here to apologize to me? Me? Apologize to you? Now, that would be crazy, says Tiffany. But I'm not here for you. I'm here for Rhea. I may have the United States title, and damn, it looks good on me. But I want that one. And she points to Rhea's WWE Women's Championship. Jade Cargill then comes on out. And this is quickly becoming one of those segments that I absolutely can't stand. Rhea's out there. She cuts a babyface promo. She gets interrupted by somebody else's theme music. They come out and cut a promo. That promo hits. And then someone else comes out to interrupt both Rhea and Charlotte. Jade Cargill comes on out. Her theme music hits. She comes out with a microphone. Tiffany Stratton's out there with a microphone. I'm like, bro, Jesus fucking Christ. Do we need to turn this into a merry-go-round of promos and theme musics? What does Tiffany Stratton have to do with any of these women? Jade Cargill's out there. Wrap it up, wrap it up. You three look stupid together. Yes, yes, give it to me, she says, as the fans give her no reaction whatsoever. And the only reaction that Bologna gave Jade is go away heat. Jade is not a heel. Jade's not getting heel heat, chat. She's getting go away heat. She then addressed some guy. This was fucking funny. Some guy in the aisleway in the front row. She's like, don't mind this hater. Don't mind this hater. I guess this guy was talking shit to her and the not so baddies. Yes. They got to be labeled as haters. Now, Charlotte, you didn't save Rhea, but you damn sure put yourself next in line. And seeing how we're both in the Queen of the Ring, I'll make sure that little side quest you pulled is rewarded. I mean, look at your stupid friend Alexa. Anyway, and Tiffany, I mean, we've been at this so many times. I suggest you learn your lesson and stay out of grown folks' business. Rhea, enjoy my title while you can because I'm coming for what's mine. Actually, I'm coming now for what's mine. So Nick Aldis is out there. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold your horses. Rhea, we both know that you're in no condition to compete here tonight. So let's all just calm down here for a second. And then Charlotte says, I got an idea. And it is what it is. Tiffany, I know you don't like me, and trust me, I don't like you. But I don't like Jade more. And because my best friend is not here, I got an idea. How about you and one of your sidekick backup dancers face Tiffany and I here tonight in Bologna, Italy? So clearly it was going to be the two that were dressed to wrestle, both Jade and Michin. B-Fab was not in her ring attire. So we got this tag team match taking place. Charlotte and Tiffany versus Jade and Michin with B-Fab. Exhilarating stuff here, Chad. Exhilarating content. We'll pick it up after the commercial break. Charlotte hits a big back suplex on Michin. Michin tried to stop Charlotte from making the tag to Tiffany. Jade got Charlotte with a cheap shot, which allowed Michin to hit a Styles Clash on Charlotte. Stratton broke up the count. Only got a 2. Michin attempted a figure 4. Charlotte reversed it. She sent Michin crashing into the ring post using those long legs of hers. This allowed a hot tag to Tiffany. She came in, big back elbow on Michin, shotgun dropkick to Jade, Alabama slam on Michin. She goes up top, connected with a swanton bomb. Michin kicked out at a 2. Michin delivers a Pele kick. Michael Cole shouts out AJ Styles for teaching Michin the Pele kick. So this allows for a tag to Jade, who comes in. Springboard stunner by Stratton on Jade for a 2. Charlotte and Michin take each other out, which leads to Tiffany and Jade going at it in the ring one-on-one. Jade caught Stratton, lifted her up for a powerbomb, sit-out powerbomb, and a near fall. There's a couple of things that Jade does really good. It's her finish, the sit-out powerbomb, and the pump kick. That's it. To some people, that's all she needs. Outside the ring, B-Fab blasted Charlotte with a pump kick. Tiffany got lifted up for Jaded. She blocked it. On the second time around, she didn't block it. Cargill hit it. 1, 2, 3. And Jade actually pins the Women's United States Champion, Tiffany Stratton, with a Jaded 1, 2, 3. Jade and the baddies are awful television. They do absolutely nothing to make the show better. Just an awful group. Jade lost at the pay-per-view. They needed a way to protect Jade and give Jade some momentum back, so they have Jade beat the Women's United States Champion. I don't think Jade is winning that quarterfinal match next week either. So it's like tit for tat. So Jade pinned Rhea at Saturday night's main event. Jade loses to Rhea at the pay-per-view. Jade pins Tiffany. I don't think Jade is winning the quarterfinal match. I don't. Lyra ain't winning. Jade ain't winning. Charlotte is winning. Soul ain't winning. Charlotte's winning that match. No matter who Charlotte is going up against, whether it's Becky or whether it's Alexa, Charlotte's in the semifinals. That's the right move to make. I could see WWE going with Alexa Bliss because they're just mental to think that we need this tournament to play out tension between Charlotte and Alexa. We don't. We can do that any given week. To me, I want the best match. I think Becky and Charlotte's the best match. Give me the best matches that yield the best results and move whoever the best is onto the final. That's the way it should be. This is not the tournament. This is not the type of tournament that you're going to have these remedial stories playing out. They're not big enough stories to see play out in the tournament. You're not going to waste an entire tournament semifinal on Alexa and Charlotte when you can do that any fucking week. Any week. Should be Becky and Charlotte, with Charlotte advancing to the final. Fatal Influence is backstage. All of a sudden, cameras are going off in the distance. They run right past Kathy Kelly, who wanted to ask them about their loss earlier, JC Jane's loss. We see cameras going off. Brie Bella and Paige are being photographed with their tag team titles. So they go over and see them. And Brie mentions JC suffering her first big loss on Friday Night SmackDown. So all of a sudden, Fatal Influence had walked away. The rest of Fatal Influence had walked away. They're talking to JC Jane specifically. Brie tells JC, oh, you lost your first match. How'd that go? And then Paige is like, do you got a problem? So Fatal Influence comes from behind and attacks Paige and Brie Bella. And they leave the tag team champions lying there on the floor in front of the photographer. Are we looking at Fatal Influence becoming the new tag team champions? R-Truth. He's checking on Royce Keys. Royce Keys feels like he got jumped. He did. Truth knows where Royce came from. He'll probably get jumped a couple more times, but he appreciates everything Truth has been doing for him. Truth says he's trying to return the favor. Truth knows that Damian Priest is a tough nut to crack, but once you get to know DP, you will love DP. Doesn't really sound all that PG now, does it? Anyways, Truth says that the three of them need to get together and go take out the MFTs. Royce says that Priest doesn't give a damn about him. Royce and Truth are on good terms, but if it's an issue Priest wants, it's an issue he's going to get. Bro, no matter what you do with any of this, it is not going to be interesting. I don't care about Damian Priest's dislike for Royce Keys. I don't care about Royce Keys and the MFTs. I don't care about Solo looking to recruit Royce Keys. I don't care about any of it. It is so fucking garbage. None of it is interesting. None of it. Royce Keys is not going to make the MFTs better. In fact, it's going to actually bring down Royce Keys. Once again, we're asking Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes to give us the best wrestling match on the show. Might as well just call Carmelo Hayes Mr. Every Week. Best match of the week. Guy just fucking kills it every week. So this is the third week in a row these two have fought. Last week they went to a double countout. This week we're getting another one-on-one match because both of them want the United States title match. So one of them's got to prove that one is better than the other. We'll pick it up after the commercial break. Ricky Saints hit Hayes with a clothesline before he keeps the pressure on him. Running uppercut in the corner. Bulldog from Saints. Hayes countered a Northern Lights suplex from Saints into a DDT. Both guys are down. So they both get up. They both going back and forth with each other, exchanging blows. Big boot by Saints. Dirty Diana by Carmelo Hayes. 1-2 kick out. 2.5. First 48 was counted into a jackknife pin combination. Ricky Saints only got a 2.5. A bounce off the turnbuckle into the Revolution DDT by Saints on Carmelo was not enough to put Carmelo away, only a 2 count. Powerbomb by Saints, reversed into a first 48 by Hayes. And he nails, or Ricky rather, nails Carmelo with a big kick and only gets a 2. Hayes headed up top. He was looking for nothing but net. Saints used the ropes to knock Carmelo off balance. Out of the ring, Carmelo leapt at Saints. He got hit in the midsection. Hayes beat the count on the outside. He got in the ring at a 9. Saints is arguing with the referee. Hayes rolled up. Saints only got a near fall. Hayes' roll-up was turned into a roll-up by Saints, and Saints wins after hooking Carmelo's tights. So Ricky Saints wins over Carmelo Hayes 1-2-3 after the leverage pin by pulling the tights. These two have had a nice series of matches. I don't know how much more we got. I won't be shocked if WWE is giving us a best of 7 series with these two guys to see who the number 1 contender is for the fucking United States title. Because they got nothing else for them. Can I ask a question? Where the fuck is Ilya Dragunov? Does anybody know where Dragunov is? Was there a report that he's hurt? Was he given time off to go deal with a family issue? Where is Ilya Dragunov? After this guy gave you so many great matches on this show, for him to just disappear after WrestleMania is quite shocking. I don't know where we're going with the United States title. Maybe they do Ricky at Night of Champions and then save Carmelo for SummerSlam against Trick Williams. It's probably the way I would do it. Speaking of Trick Williams, he was interviewed by Kathy Kelly in the back. He says he's going to win the King of the Ring. Despite Carmelo and Ricky Saints gunning for his United States Championship, how is he preparing for an opportunity that can ultimately lead him to SummerSlam? First things first, Trick is concerned with one man, and that name is Trick Williams. Trick calls Melo and Ricky peasants. He will be the king. Trick says that he's going to add himself to the long list of great King of the Ring winners like Booker T, Triple H, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Trick is going to punch his ticket to SummerSlam and become the WWE champion. Want to look and sound good? Trick Williams, the man with 2 chains, 2 lemon pepper steppers, and 2 titles on his shoulders. Let's talk about it. Bron Breakker comes on in, has a nose-to-nose, face-to-face with Trick Williams. Bron tells Trick, I'll see you out there. Graduates of NXT 2.0 meeting on the main roster for the first time. Love to see it. Tiffany Stratton runs into Chelsea Green in the backstage area. Chelsea is surprised that Tiffany didn't ask for help. She also found it strange that she decided to team with Charlotte Flair. Nonetheless, Charlotte is out there before Chelsea says, I have your back. I have your back. Tiffany says that she didn't think she needed Chelsea's help. Chelsea says that Tiffany didn't want her out there because she didn't want her to get injured. This is why everyone is calling them the Dream Team. So Chelsea's delusional. Especially with the Irresistible Forces last week. Chelsea has a match coming up with Lash Legend. Nobody asked for that. And she would appreciate Tiffany having her back. Tiffany wishes Chelsea good luck in her match, but I got to go to the trainer's room, so good luck in your match. I will not be in your corner. Blake Monroe had another vignette promo. This week she talked about Tiffany Stratton. Last week she talked about Rhea Ripley. Dear Diary, we have to talk about Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany, you're quite the star. Your rise to the top has been very impressive, says Blake Monroe. And looking at you is like looking into a mirror, which I love to do. When we finally meet, it will be the box office event the fans are dying to see. But the difference between you and I is that if you scratch just a little beneath the surface, you will see that a princess like you isn't used to getting her hands dirty. No. Tiffy time is about to run on Monroe minutes. So run while you can, because the glamour is coming to SmackDown. Didn't they have her appear in a backstage segment on Friday Night SmackDown like 2 or 3 weeks ago? And now they just opted to show her in vignettes. So why show her in a backstage promo, standing in the background, when you could have opted to do this all along? So clearly she's gunning for the top. She's gunning for Rhea. She's gunning for Tiffany, both of which are champions on the show. I'm looking forward to when she gets there. See, this is how you introduce a character. This is how you introduce someone to the audience. You know that they're coming. You can put a face to a voice, and you can see them physically and what they're about, what they may bring to the table, and what their character is going to be. Build anticipation for it. Clearly, they see something in her, and they are very high on her. So hopefully they know what they're doing. Chelsea Green and Lash Legend. Boring. We're not going to go over this one because, let's be honest, nobody even asked for it. And I don't give a shit. Lash Legend wins with a lash extension. Literally the only thing that looks good in Lash Legend's repertoire. We got a video recap of Jacob Fatu acknowledging Roman Reigns. He's all gas, no brakes with it. Yada mean. Now he's a little puppy dog. He's neutered. Let's get fucking Bob Barker out there. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Solo Sikoa. You guys are going to love this one. Solo Sikoa, he runs into Royce Keys backstage. Royce says that Solo better watch what he says next. Solo says he comes in peace. Solo wants to know why Royce is being so difficult. Did he see what happened on Raw? Roman made his boy kneel down like a dog. Solo says that he's the only family Royce has left. Royce says that he didn't bust his ass to get here just to fall in line and listen to Solo. I didn't come from where I came from to come here and listen to you. Solo knows that Royce busted his ass, but did anyone come calling? The Usos didn't call. Jacob Fatu didn't call. Solo mentions that Roman called Royce out the other day. Solo then goes over his resume of bringing Jacob Fatu into the family, Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga into the family, and helping them become champions because they followed him and they listened to him. Solo tells Royce that they need to get ready for war. Those guys, they're all good. We need to get ready for war. So he needs Royce to stop being so difficult, or he'll make this difficult for Royce Keys. Chat, what Solo Sikoa is basically saying here, and what Solo Sikoa is alluding to, is that eventually, not now, not at SummerSlam, but eventually, this is going to be a very, very slow burn, and that your Survivor Series War Games has already been determined. This will be the bloodline against the MFTs. Your War Games match will be the bloodline versus the MFTs. And if this looks familiar or sounds familiar to you, it's because we did it already in 2024. Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and both Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. Do you believe WWE is running back a War Games match, potentially, that's worse than what we did in 2024? Bro, I wouldn't even call this rerun. What is this? Who asked for this? Who thinks this is a good idea? And who thinks this is going to go off without a fucking complaint? Do you realize how fucking lazy that sounds? Like, you don't even need to change the graphic from 2024. You could just reuse the same assets and make the same fucking graphic because it's the same fucking teams. Who asked for this? Bro, if we go into Survivor Series and that is the plan, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. You know, that's not really the future that we're supposed to be excited about. Chad Gable. He runs into Ray Phoenix backstage. He's here to have a conversation with him. Nick Aldis asked him to come to do business, but the priority is Ray Phoenix. He wanted to talk to Ray Phoenix face-to-face. He says they had an awesome match at WrestleMania last year, but Gable did that under the false pretense. And when he put on the El Grande Americano mask, it was to poke fun at guys like Phoenix and all the luchadors that were, quite frankly, giving him so much trouble in the ring. It was his frustration. The longer he wore the mask, the more time he spent in Mexico. Gable realized that Lucha Libre wasn't a joke. They're taking on a responsibility for their culture to the art form of Lucha Libre. And he made a mockery out of that. I just want to apologize. Phoenix says that he forgives Gable. He knows losing the mask is painful enough. Phoenix reminds Gable that he's not the only luchador that he offended. I don't know what Gable's business was on SmackDown. I don't know if they're opting to move him to Friday night. I mean, the show's going back to 2 hours, thank God, in a couple of weeks. The show is fucking ridiculous at 3 hours. In the worst way, I would move Gable. Actually, I would not move Gable. I would keep him on Raw. Whatever brand he's affiliated on, I would keep him on Raw. I'd have him go after Penta. I'd have him go after the IC title. Penta and Gable for the United States title in Minneapolis. That's the plan. That should be the plan. He's going to be more over now than he's ever been. You repay that man. You give back. He gave you the best match of the year. He did what he did in Mexico to get Kaiser over. The body of work that Chad Gable has given you deserves a payoff. The payoff is the IC title. The payoff is beating Penta at SummerSlam in Minneapolis. It will be a great moment. Triple H wants to make moments. That's the moment he needs to do. No questions asked. Main event, Bron Breakker, Trick Williams, Dominik Mysterio with Liv Morgan and Damian Priest. This is for the King of the Ring quarterfinal match. The winner of this gets Obafemi in the semifinals. We'll pick it up after the commercial break. Priest caught Dominik charging with the boot. Breakker gave Priest a Frankensteiner, which looked great. Dominik broke up the cover. Breakker pressed Dom above his head and slammed him. This looked nasty. I don't know how Bron Breakker slammed Dominik down, but he slammed him down on his side and not on his back. So Trick broke up the cover. So Trick comes back. Big kicks, big punches against all three guys. He delivered a bookend to Bron Breakker. Priest interrupted the count and broke up the bookend. Dominik meets Priest on the rope, on the top rope. Trick lifted Dom onto his shoulders. Priest punched away at Dom. Breakker went for the top rope Frankensteiner. Priest held on. Trick joined Breakker, and they superplex Priest to the mat. We go into a second commercial break. Come back from the break. Priest gave Dominik a razor's edge. He made the cover. Liv stood on the ring. Referee turned to her, which I do not blame the referee at all because look at what she was wearing. Why wouldn't he stare? Priest got up. Breaker then pressed Priest above his head before almost losing his balance and dropping him. He had him up, and then it ended up being sloppy. Is it me, or has Breaker lost a step? Now, the match with Rollins was great. I feel like after Breaker came back from injury, he's still getting into the groove of things. He hasn't been as crisp. He made 2 botches here in this match, one with Priest and one with Dom. Trick charged at Breaker. Breaker caught him and landed a side slam. Again, he lost balance. I don't know what happened there. Dominik caught a charge. He does everything so fast. He doesn't slow down. That's the problem. Dominik caught Breaker, who charged in with a kick. Set up for 619. Priest punched Dom. Breaker speared Priest. Slipped doing it. Breaker threw Dominik out of the ring. Trick gave Breaker a trick shot. He covered Priest for a near fall, but Dominik yanked the referee out of the ring. The referee comically tried to position himself where his feet were facing the ropes and gave Dominik the open to pull him out. Stupid. So it's legal, obviously, because there's no DQ. Trick pulled Dominik onto the ring apron by his head and slapped him. Breaker clotheslined Trick over the top rope to the floor. Trick is standing by the commentary table. Breaker leapt off the ring apron and crashed through the announce desk with Trick. They are out of the match completely. Dominik comes back into the ring. He kicked Priest into the 619 position. Priest got up, clotheslined Dominik, who charged in. He lowered his straps. He signaled for South of Heaven. J.D. McDonough leapt at Priest. Priest caught him, gave him a South of Heaven. Priest set up for South of Heaven on Dom. Liv comes in, gives Priest a low blow. So Dominik gets him in position for a 619, hits the 619, goes to the top rope, hits the frog splash, and Dominik, in 17 minutes, advances to the semifinals, and now he's got a date with Oba Femi. Wade Barrett said the world could rejoice at the greatest night in the history of sports if Dominik wins the King of the Ring. Michael Cole crushed his dreams and said, Wade, look at the bracket. Oba is his opponent in the semifinals. I would not have Dominik Mysterio win this match. I would have had Bron Breakker win this match. Now we have the predictable and absolutely unexciting match of Dominik Mysterio versus Oba Femi on the semifinals for the King of the Ring tournament. I think WWE fucked up the tournament, quite honestly. That doesn't really get me excited whatsoever, at all. But that was your Friday Night SmackDown. Not the worst SmackDown, but also not the best. And creatively, I still think WWE is very, very, very lost, honestly. We're going to get into your super chats. Get them on in. We're going to hang out in just a second. But I want to say first, thank you guys very much. If you did enjoy tonight's stream, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the content on the channel. Plenty of it. Hopefully there'll be something this weekend. If there is A, news, and B, motivation to make something. There's just nothing going on right now. Also, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the King and Queen of the Ring matches tonight. Let me know what you thought of SmackDown in general in the comment section. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. And tonight we're sponsored by my great friends over at Mars Men. Have you guys noticed how every wrestler from the Attitude Era somehow looks better at 50 than when they did at 35? You see Triple H, The Rock, guys today like Randy Orton and AJ Styles at their age. These guys walk out, they look like they could headline a pay-per-view tomorrow. Meanwhile, the rest of us hit our mid-30s, and seriously, it feels like you're wrestling a last man standing match. Same workouts, same diet, same sleep schedule, but somehow it feels like you're carrying Braun Strowman on your back every single day. Nobody really warns you about that part. One day you're firing on all cylinders, and the next you're wondering why getting through the afternoon feels harder than sitting through a 3-hour episode of SmackDown. That's actually what got me looking into Mars Men. What I found out is that your body can still produce testosterone, but a lot of it gets locked up by a protein called SHBG. It's basically like having a money in the bank contract and you're not allowed to cash it in. That's where Mars Men comes in. It's designed to help your body utilize what it already has. No needles, no synthetics, just real ingredients that are designed to support healthy testosterone levels, energy, focus, and stamina. And what I personally noticed is consistency. Not a caffeine rush, not some crazy spike, just more steady energy throughout the day, better focus, and feeling like I've actually got something left in the tank after a long day. It's also made in the USA, it's third-party tested, and they even back it with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Now, this is the important part. For a limited time, our listeners here tonight get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off, 3 free gifts, and free shipping when you check out. All you need to do is tell them where you heard about them and mention JD right here on Off the Script. That's all you got to do. So tell them I sent you, and you'll be on your way. And once again, I want to thank my great friends over at Mars Men for sponsoring tonight's show right here on Off the Script. Let's get to these super chats so I can get out of here. My God, Jay Solstice, thank you, brother, for the $100 earlier. Appreciate you very, very, very much. Michael Krause, $2 super chat. JDOTS, all gas, no brakes, SmackDown, win it. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Michelle with a $2 super chat times 2. At this rate, Jey Uso will be in the finals. If Triple H has Dom beat Oba, he is on some serious crack. I cannot see that happening. I just can't. Caden with a $1.99. Shit down sucks. Fire this entire creative team. JM, $10 super chat coming to us from Canada. They ruined the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring. Are they really going to have Dom beat Oba with Brock's help? Oba versus Bron was right there. Poor Io has to wrestle Raquel again when she should be facing Bayley or JC. Bro, if they run the Brock situation and have Dominik advance to the finals, to have Seth versus Dominik in the finals, this is the world title match at SummerSlam we're talking about. Fast Eddie with a $4.99. JD SmackDown was boring. Thank you for the Cyber Ghost VPN. Respect, brother. OTS for life. Yeah, you guys should take advantage of that, man. You guys get to watch SmackDown at 2 p.m. I opted not to do that. JM with a $5 super chat. WWE using this tournament for Judgment Day slop. EO better beat Raquel because I better not see Liv versus Raquel in the finals. Just awful creative. Bro, I do not put it past Triple H to do these awful things. I do not. Fast Eddie with a $4.99. JD, I was born in 82 as well. Got my ticket to go see Masters of the Universe. Goodbye, Chad Gable. You're SmackDown. You're on SmackDown. Goodbye. Now they will waste him. Anybody go see Masters of the Universe yet? I may go see it tomorrow if my theater in town has a showing. Has anybody seen it? If so, what do they think about it? Is it worth it? My God, Triple M. $5 super chat, 4 days, June 9th, one last time. Hashtag Guardians make their own fate. Hashtag thank you, Destiny. Hashtag Warlocks, Mog, Hunters. I'll be on, brother. I'm not doing anything after the 2 count. I ain't doing shit, so I'll be on. Joey Taylor with $2 super chat. SmackDown is boring. Caden with a 199, no message. Hurricane, my guy, Hurricane with a 70 months. Oh my goodness. JD, I am pumped for the beer garden. Raquel faces Liv at SummerSlam with Roxy cashing in on Liv to win and blow up the group. I don't want it, but here we are. Guys, Money in the Bank is taking place in September. I'm assuming that we see Roxy cash in after she wins Money in the Bank, so that would mean Liv is still the champion. Maybe that's what they go for. I have no idea. Maybe we are headed for a Liv versus Raquel match at SummerSlam. I have no fucking idea. That would be terrible. That would genuinely be terrible. You don't need that to play out the story of Raquel and Roxy wanting to distance themselves from Liv Morgan. You don't need that. You don't. Robert, new membership. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. To Illuminati with a $5 super chat. I have a glaring suspicion that we're getting Cody and Roman 3 at Crown Jewel. Bro, the WWE creative isn't even, it's not at a point where it's like unpredictable and good. It's not a good unpredictable. It's a very bad predictable program. And they're trying too hard to make it unpredictable to prove to the geeks online that they don't know anything, yet they're fucking everything up and they're giving you plans that are worse than what we're coming up with. That's the problem. There is absolutely nothing wrong with doing Braun Breaker and Obafemi in the semifinals. No, bro, that's what the show is missing. That's what the show is missing. That's the shit we want to see. Can you imagine? Why can't we get that? What is so wrong with that? You know what we'll do, Bruce? We'll give them Dominik and Oba. That'll really show them. The Mother Lover with a $9.99. Oba vs. Dom is boring. I still think Seth is going to win against Oba and Saudi and challenge Roman at SummerSlam. Wouldn't be surprised if Brock costs Oba and Seth goes over. Love the show. But why would he do that? Why do it there? Why fly Brock all the way there to do that? And why does Brock want to help Seth? Why does a Paul Heyman guy want to help Seth? Bro. Oh my God. Nothing makes sense. Robert with a 10. You're doing great, bro. I've been watching since your conversation on a show prior to WrestleMania last year. Brother, thank you for being here, man. Means a lot. Thank you. Keandra Blue with a $4.99. Oba beats Brock night 1 SummerSlam. Beats Roman night 2 to solidify him for the world title. He's a made man at that point. Just a thought, bro. No. Now we're not doing both of those matches in one night or in one weekend. We're not doing that. It's one or the other. DJ55 with a $4.99. Turned 40 years old today. Cheers to everyone in the beer garden tonight. I'll catch up on the stream later. DJ, beer garden is coming back on Monday. MGM Bowling with a $4.99. Just getting home from the Madison Square Garden watch party. The vibes are unreal. This is the year. Knicks in 4. Brother, you may be looking at Knicks in 4. You may be looking at it. Philluminati, hope you had a good time, brother. Philluminati with a $5 super chat. Priest has such a tough job of trying to keep it serious with truth. You can just tell that they're genuine friends in real life. Best in the world, Matt with a $10 super chat. JD, did you see the new Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 release trailer today? The game is called Revelation. And what are your thoughts if you did see it? It was better than this SmackDown. I'm excited. I have waited all these years from the remake to Rebirth, which I'm currently playing right now. I'm already 20 hours in. You know, I bought Rebirth when it came out. I never touched it. And in the last week or so, I put 20 hours into it. And I find myself just doing side quests till 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to get that done before the next game comes out. I forgot how tough these games were. I don't really like the combat system. I'm more of a traditionalist. I like the old school turn-based. Everything's like these action RPGs now, and it's like they give you the free reign to do whatever you want. But the whole key to these games is you got to switch off between characters. That's the only thing, man. You got to keep in the back of your mind. You got to switch characters often in battle. I've waited all these years to see their reimagining of the Sephiroth final boss battle from Final Fantasy VII. Bro, the final boss battle in Revelation in the last chapter has to be the greatest boss fight of all time. All these years, we're finally getting to this point. It has to be the greatest boss battle in the history of gaming. I can't wait to see how they reimagine that. Because the original, I'm talking about the original PlayStation, original version of Final Fantasy, still to this day, the greatest boss battle of all time. Nothing hit you like when Sephiroth hit his supernova. Nothing. Bro, that shit was fucking scary. When he hit that supernova, bro, it was like, goodbye, I'm dead. It's all over. Can you imagine what that's going to look like in this game? Philluminati with a $5 super chat. I pray that Oba destroys the Judgment Day the same way he destroyed the War Raiders. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. And M. James with a $5 super chat. Do you ever see Damian winning another world title? Or do you think he's already peaked due to many other popular stars debuting since his world title win? I do not see Damian Priest winning another world title. He's only getting older. I think where they have him now is where Damian Priest is going to stay. Honestly. Harpreet with a $6.99. Hey, JD, as an Indian, have you tried any Indian food like samosa or butter chicken or Tim Hortons coffee? Here in Canada, people drink it all the time. I've never had traditional Tim Hortons coffee. I hear it's overrated. Indian food. My brother Michael's wife is Indian. She cooked for us something very basic. It wasn't bad. The flavors and the tastes, it's an acquired taste. I've never had it before, so you know it was a little different for me. But butter chicken sounds good. Butter chicken sounds good. I'm a very picky eater. Very picky eater. And I'm very picky with my pro wrestling, but you guys stick with me, man. Thank you very much for all your support. I really appreciate you guys. We're going to try and have a great weekend. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go and check out all the content on the channel. Plenty of it. Hopefully I can bring you guys something this weekend, honestly. I'd love to get some extra content out there, but there's just nothing going on. Nothing going on. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Follow me on social media. At JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button. Go buy a t-shirt. You guys know the deal. I'll see you guys on Monday. I'll be live early on Monday. Raw at 2 p.m. Until then, guys, have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday back live after Raw. See you guys later.
Shut up, bitches!